I had what I thought was a good idea. And that was I wanted to do dark and serious movies about Batman, showing the world he was not like the TV Batman, the pot-bellied pow-zap wham guy, but was a real serious dark creature of the night, battling deeply disturbed villains in the shadows. And when I was in my 20s, I raised money privately and bought those rights from DC Comics and set out to Hollywood with Batman in my back pocket. Well, to my chagrin, what I thought was going to be an easy slam dunk sale didn't turn out that way. Every single major motion picture studio in Hollywood turned me down. Every mini major turned me down. I was told it was the worst idea they ever heard and that I was crazy because you can't do serious comic book movies, you can't do dark superheroes. As a result, from the time we bought the rights to Batman till we were finally able to get the first movie made in 1989, took 10 years. And that was 10 years of lots of rejection. So this was the biggest problem that we faced going in. And the world didn't understand, in Hollywood terms, how a dark and serious Batman would even work. It was only when the genius Tim Burton came onto the stage in 1986 with a very important breakthrough revolutionary idea that in order to do a serious comic book superhero movie, the movie should not be about Batman, but should be about Bruce Wayne. And that has made all the difference. That is what allowed people from all over the world who had never read a comic book to embrace Tim Burton's vision of Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Thank you. As a curator of the Excelsior, The Life and Legacy of Stan Lee exhibit, what aspect of Stan Lee's life and work do you believe are most important for fans to understand and appreciate?
There's a couple of very, very, very important roles that Stan Lee placed. And one of them was as, of course, the co-creator of the Marvel Age of Comics. The Marvel Age of Comics was not created by one person. It was created by a team of people, co-creators. It was Stan Lee and Jack Kirby working together, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko working together, Don Heck, Dick Ayers, Gene Colan, Johnny Romita, John Buscema, the list goes on and on. It was these people with incredible creative new ideas coming together that elevated what a comic book could be, what a comic book superhero story could be. And that's what gave us the Marvel Age. And the second most important thing is Stan developed a line of communication with us fans. We've always felt that Stan had a personal relationship with us, that he was talking with us, not down to us, and that he made us feel like we were part of a very cool secret club. It was kind of subversive feeling, and nobody else knew about what we had going on here. And that was an amazing part of it all. The third piece, which is equally important, is Stan became the face and voice of the entire comic book industry. He promoted comic books and Marvel everywhere he went. He lectured at colleges, gave a show at Carnegie Hall, and made college-age people and beyond believe that comics were cool and that there was a lot more to comics that even adults can enjoy. And just around that same time, the field of graphic novels began to grow and explode. So the times were changing. Comic books were changing with it. And one of the main reasons they were because of the work of Stan and Jack and Steve and all of the co-creators.
What role do you believe superhero movies like the Batman franchise play in popular culture and inspiring audience worldwide?
I've been very fortunate to have been asked to speak at the United Nations 3 times. And in each time, working with people there from countries all around the world, we found something interesting. And that is, even though we spoke different languages and dialects, Even though we had different politics where we came from,
Yes.
even though we believed in different gods and came from very different cultures, that comic books, cartoons, and pop culture were something that could bring us together. They were showcasing our similarities, not the way the media and politics have showcased our differences. And it was a very bonding, warm and fuzzy experience. One of the things I think that Batman helps achieve is exactly that. Because Batman is not a superpowered superhero, he is human. His greatest superpower is humanity. Any one of us could become Batman if we're willing to step up to the plate, act like a hero, persevere, make a commitment, and honor it. Batman is an international symbol. Anybody can be Batman. And that is one of the most important messages brought to the world by Batman in cinema as well as in comics.
What inspired you to create an exhibit dedicated to Stan Lee life and legacy, and what do you hope visitors will take away from the experience?
We've created a wonderful story of the life and legacy of Stan Lee. And as you move through our story here at the Comic-Con Museum in Balboa Park, San Diego, you will learn a lot about Stan the man. You will learn all about his co-creators, and you will see their creative work. And that's critically important. We have original artwork drawn by them. We have some of the most historic pieces that go back to early 1942. The earliest existing original art featuring work by Stan Lee. It's pretty incredible. Or as Stan Lee would have said, it's amazing, fantastic, incredible, and uncanny. And then we take and move you from the golden age of World War II into the 1950s when comic books were under attack. And they claimed they were causing juvenile delinquency in America. We show you the genres that Stan wrote for other than superheroes. Everything from romance and humor to adventure, science fiction, war, westerns, jungle, spy. And then we introduce you to the Silver Age, the Marvel Age of comics. Why did so many of the comic books that Marvel was publishing that were mystery and fantasy books suddenly convert to superheroes? Why was there suddenly a demand for superheroes beginning in 1961? And if you think back and set it in the context of our times, we were at the height of a Cold War. People were fearing nuclear war, that bombs would drop at any moment. Kids they had air raid drills in schools. They were told that if you see the flash of light of nuclear bombs dropping, to hide under your little wooden desk. That'll protect us from the 10,000 degree heat that's on its way. We had the space race that was beginning and growing fast. My heroes were Mercury astronauts. We had the youngest president in a generation, John F. Kennedy, that was giving everyone hope. Hope. And that was the need. We had a great need for hope and heroics. And the comic book superheroes filled the gap. Just like in folklore and in ancient mythology, you have stories of brave heroes battling the demons and dragons of their day. And that's exactly what we needed at that time.
Stan Lee was known for creating iconic superheroes. What do you think made this character and story resonate with audience on such a profound level?
Could you say that again for me?
Sorry, Stan Lee was known for creating iconic superheroes. What do you think made his characters and stories resonate with audiences at such a profound level?
Prior to the Marvel Age of Comics, a lot of superheroes acted in a very stereotypical, what we used to call cardboard manner. You had heroes who were heroes, and you had villains who were villains. It was a black and white world of good versus evil. When Marvel began in the superhero business in 1961 and on, it wasn't as much about a supervillain, an external force. It was about the internal conflicts that his characters were experiencing. And it was about heroes who argued with each other. It was about superheroes who fought with each other. It was about superheroes who had to deal with everyday problems in life. In Fantastic Four #9, they were going bankrupt. They were evicted from their secret headquarters. I mean, things we had never experienced before in comics. It just felt real. It felt like it was addressing us at that time and what we knew. And that shook up everything. And it changed the world of comics forever.
And my last question, what means for you San Diego Comic Con? What means for you San Diego Comic Con?
The most important thing about Comic-Con is that this represents to all of us a community. If you are a comic book fanboy or fan, if you are a collector, if you are into gaming, if you're into anime and manga, you can feel very isolated. You can feel that you're not being accepted by a lot of the people around you, whether it's parents or other people your age. You may feel that you are different from them. But when you come to Comic-Con, it is a community of like-minded people that all share exactly the same passions. We understand each other. And when you're at San Diego, we take over the city. It is an invasion of the Gaslamp district everywhere you turn. And you could be dressed as Thor.
Yes.
And instead of people laughing at you, they want to have their picture taken with you. It's an amazing feeling and one you don't find anywhere else. Not like this.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Can we take a